Today we are studying chapter number 2, compound interest. Okay, so this is basically the revision of the chapter that you have learned in your previous classes and with some new formulas. So first of all, we will discuss the basic terms related to this chapter that you have already familiar about it. So first thing is that P, that is your principal, and then R, rate of interest, T, time period, and then interest, and then amount. Okay, so these are the basic terms that you are already familiar about it. What is the P? P is the principal. Principal basically the amount that we are borrowing from the bank, okay, or from any other sources. So the amount that we are borrowing, that is known as a principal. Or sometime if we are depositing that amount to the bank, so for that this is also the principal. And rate is the R is the rate of interest. But basically first we will learn what is interest. Interest is the additional amount that we are getting on the principal for a specified period of time. So that is called the interest. Okay. So R is the rate of interest at which we are paying for. Suppose 2% per annum. It means that we are paying additional money to the bank 2% per annum. Okay. Or we are receiving, both the cases. First here there are two cases. First thing is that when we are borrowing money from the bank as a loan, so we have to pay additional amount, that is the interest. Okay. Or suppose we are depositing the money to the bank and after some period of time we are getting some more money, that is also the interest. So additional money is the interest, and the rate at which this additional money is coming into our account or we are paying to the bank, that is the rate. It is basically per 100. What is the amount extra we are paying per 100? Okay. Suppose 2% per annum. This is, we are paying 2% extra money per annum annually, means in a year. That is the rate of interest. T is the time period at which time we have deposited or we are borrowing some money, like 2 years, 3 years, whatever is the period. I told you the interest. A is the amount. Amount is the sum of the principal and the interest. So amount is basically P plus I. Okay, so now what is I? I is the interest, and there are two types of interest that we will discuss. First is the simple interest. Okay, so the formula of simple interest is P into R into T by 100. This is a formula to calculate the simple interest. Okay, here we need only three elements: principal on which we are taking the interest or giving the interest, R is the rate of interest, T is the time period. Okay. So this is a simple interest. Now what is the difference between simple interest and compound interest? So we will learn this with the help of example. Suppose an example we are taking here. There is a principal of 15,000. Okay. And the rate of interest is 15%, or sorry, we are taking less, 8% per annum. And the time period is 2 years. So we will calculate the simple interest and the compound interest. So with the help of this example, we will learn the difference between the simple interest and the compound interest. So let's see the simple interest. We know this is P into R into T upon 100. Fine. So by using this formula directly we can find the simple interest for any time interval, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever, directly we can find. So see that this is 15,000 and the rate is 8 and time period is 2 years, and this is here 100. 20 will cancel out, and now it is 150 into 16. So we can multiply this here. Okay, so it will be 2400. That is the simple interest for 2 years. 2400. Now, how we will calculate the compound interest and what is the meaning of compound interest? So here we are looking that the principal is same for 2 years. Okay, time period is 2 years and this is the same principal for 2 years. And for calculating the compound interest, the principal is changing every time conversion. What is the time conversion? Like suppose this is per annum, compounded annually. It means that our interest is increasing after 1 year. It is the meaning of compounded annually. Okay, because annually means after 1 year. So if it is compounded annually, so we are taking the compound interest after 1 year. Means after every 1 year, the interest will be added into our principal. Okay, and that amount will be the principal for the second year. So that we will calculate with the help of the same examples. Okay, so let's see that compound interest. So there are two methods to calculate the compound interest. First is with the help of the same process, that is by calculating the simple interest. So here we are calculating simple interest for first year, because in first year the simple interest and the compound interest both are same. So P into R into T we are taking. So principal is 15,000 and rate of interest is A, and we are calculating this for 1 year. Okay, so these two will cancel out. So now let's see, this is 1200. Okay, this is the simple interest for first year, and this is equals to the compound interest. So simple interest is equals to compound interest for first year on. Okay, so now what will be the amount? Principal plus interest. So this is 15,000 plus 1200. So this will be 00261, 16,200. This is the amount in one's account after 1 year. Okay, now for calculating the interest on second year, we will take this amount as a principal. Okay, so now this is the next principal. So for that we will calculate the simple interest or simple interest like P into R into T by 100. So now the principal is 16,200 and rate will be same, and the time period is 1, because we are calculating for the next year only, and this is 100. These 20 will cancel out. Now multiply this. 16, 6, 1 carry, 9 and 4, 8, 1, 8, 4, 12. So this is 1296. This is the interest for the second year. So now amount after second year, so this is principal plus interest. Now the principal is 16,200 plus 1296. So 69224, 617 in this. So this is the amount after 2 years. This is 17,496. And what was our principal? Principal was 15,000. So how much we are increasing in our amount? So we can subtract it and we can find the compound interest. So basically the compound interest is the difference between the final amount and the previous amount, the starting amount we can say. So this is the final amount and this one is the starting amount. So the difference between these two is known as the compound interest. Okay, so 17,496 subtracting 15,000, 6,942. So this is the compound interest, 2,496, and what we have calculated as a simple interest, that is 2,400. So this is the difference between simple interest and compound interest. Okay, always the compound interest is more than the simple interest for a same period of time, because we are adding extra money, because in simple interest the principal is same for all period of time, but for compound interest every time of conversion the interest is adding on the principal, and that principal will become the amount. Okay, and that amount will be the principal for the next conversion period. So this is the only basic difference between the compound interest and the simple interest. So there is one more formula to calculate the compound interest directly. So we will also discuss that. Okay, now see some exercise questions. It will become more clear when we will do some exercise questions. Now see exercise 2.1, question number 1. Find the amount and the compound interest on rupees 8,000. Here the principal is given 8,000. Okay, and the rate of interest is 5% per annum for 2 years, and the time period is 2 years. Okay, so we have to find the compound interest and the amount. So the time is 2 years. So here we can calculate compound interest by using the simple interest formula that I told you. And there is one more formula, or direct formula of compound interest that we will discuss in the second exercise, okay, in detail. So here we are calculating the simple interest for first year. So it will be principal into rate into time. Time is 2 years here, but we are calculating the compound interest. Okay, so we will take the time one by one. Okay, for first year we are calculating, because here in the question this is per annum and the 100. So we will just simply solve this. Simple interest for first year is 5040. Okay, this is the 400. So now the amount will be 8,000 plus 400. So this is 8400. And now this amount will be the principal for the next year. This amount will be the principal for next year. Okay, so again we are calculating the interest. This is P is 8400 and the rate will be same 5%, and the time is for next 1 year. This is 20. 20 will be cancelled out, so the interest will be 5 4 the 20, 0 to carry 8 5 the 40 into 420. Okay, so this is the interest. So now the amount will be, final amount will be this interest plus this principal. So 8400 plus 420. So the amount will be 0, 2, 4, 4, 8 and 8. So this is the final amount after 2 years, right? And the previous amount, that was your 8,000. This was the initial amount, and after 2 years this is the final amount. So the difference between the initial amount and the final amount is known as the compound interest. So the compound interest will be 8820 minus 8,000, right? So it will be 820. So this is the compound interest, the additional amount after 2 years. So this is the one way to calculate the compound interest. So and now we will calculate the compound interest by second method. Okay, for the same question we will use the second method. Okay, so there is a direct formula to calculate the amount. Here in this process, what we have done, first we have found the interest, then we are adding that interest to the principal, we are getting the amount. Okay, that amount will be considered the principal for the next year. Okay, then again we are calculating the interest and we are adding that on second principal. So finally we are getting the amount. So from that amount we are subtracting the starting principal. So now there is one direct formula in which we can directly calculate the final amount. Okay, then we will find the compound interest. So the formula, direct formula to calculate the final amount is equals to amount equals to P 1 plus R by 100 T. T is the time period here. R is the rate of interest, P is the principal, and T is the time period. So this is the direct formula by which we can calculate the final amount. Okay, so see that this amount equals to principal is this 1 plus rate of interest is 5% per annum is there. So it will be 100 here, and the time period is for 2 years. So this is 8,000, and we can reduce this 20. So we will take the carry. So it will be 21 by 20 square. Fine. So this will be 8,000 into 21 by 20 into 21 by 20. So these two zero will cancel out, and 2 for the 8, 40, and again 20. So it will be 20 into 21 into 21. So we will calculate this here. 21 into 21 is 1, 2, 2, 4. 1, 4, 4. 441. 441 into 20. So it will be 0, 2, 1, the 2, 2, 4, the 8. 8, 8, 2, 0. Directly we are getting this amount by using this formula, and now we can calculate compound interest will be this amount minus principal. So amount is 8820 and minus 8,000. So we are getting 820. So this is the compound interest that we have calculated by that method, by simple interest method, and here we are calculating it directly. So we can use both the methods. Okay. So now move to the next question.